What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing part 3 of the Losi 8T RTR 4-gear diff conversion. We've already done the center. So for the rear, I've cheated a little bit. I already basically rebuilt this off camera, so it's ready to go in. This is one of the, sorry, I'm all shaking here. This is one of the diff cups that I had in the rebuild kit, complete with bearings and everything. So the inside is fully rebuilt, 4-gear spiders. I got a 47 tooth ring gear from a 4.0 along with the lightened output cups because the RTR output cups are a smaller diameter and they won't fit inside here. So this is all built up, ready to go. Inside this differential, it is filled with 17,500 diff oil, in case you guys were wondering. If you remember from the last, on part 2, we did 100K in the center. We're gonna be doing 17.5 in the back and 17.5 in the front. So with that started, let's get this cracked open, let's get it ripped apart, and we'll get this diff going in. So hang on, guys. All right, guys, let's get it ripped apart. Hopefully my arm's not too much in the way here. What we're gonna do is just get the wheels off, just to get things started. I know it's weird seeing me use hand tools. I usually use screws and screw guns for everything else. But every once in a while, you gotta break out with hand tools. I have to say, these tires are almost depleted. So pretty soon I'll just have to just run the Badlands all the time because these engines almost fully broken in. So, I mean, it's still running rich, no matter what. I mean, it's gonna spray oil, but once the weather gets nice, we're gonna be able to set this a little better so it's not gonna be completely covering everything in oil as bad as it is. So, now, one thing I will say, off topic, one thing I love about this platform is that if you've worked on an 8T, you've worked on a 5T, or vice versa. If you worked on a 5T, you've worked on an 8T. It's the same platform. It's a beautiful thing. It's such a versatile platform. Everything just fits. Everything works. So what we're gonna do is pop these screws out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little magnetic tray so I don't lose these screws. You have these 4 bulkhead screws. Pop those out. Now, if you wanted to, you could just loosen these back ones, take the front ones out, and you can manipulate the rear diff case out. You know, you can, it'll struggle a little bit more, but it can be done if you don't want to disassemble this whole thing. If I wasn't doing this on camera, more likely than not, that's pretty much the route that I'd be going. I would just be, you know, pulling the diff cover and manipulating like that. But this makes it a little more easier to work on camera, get this whole piece out. If I can turn the camera a little. And then once we pop this out, basically, that's going to happen. So what we're going to do is just take the disassembled 8 and just set it aside. And now we just have the back half of the 8T. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these sway bars off. You can take the whole sway bar off the back, but I don't feel like fighting with it. So I'm just going to pop the link. So you have 4 screws in the back. see if I can zoom in a little bit. You want to have these 4 screws out, obviously. I mean, it's got the clutch turned down too much. Pull the lower screws out. Uppers will come out. And then we're going to pull the cover. And once we pull the cover, we can take the control arms out. Axles will fall out. If this was a TLR, this wouldn't be happening because you would actually have CVDs. And now we can compare the RTR diff to the TLR diff. You can see the difference in the cases. This one is a little bulkier, but I assure you this will fit right into the case without any issues. It goes right in. So with that said, what I'm going to do is, if you look, you have these little flat spots. Let's see, where are they? Got these 2 little flat spots. They actually go down into the case. So this would be pointing. There's a notch in the case that you'll see right there. Those have to point down into the case. You can see there's not a lot of grease in this. I don't have to re-grease this. So what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm just going to push these in because they can be a little finicky. And I think trying to do it on camera, it's just going to be boring to watch. It's going to, there's not really to see. So I'm just going to pop this in and I'll be right back. All right, so that actually went much, much easier than anticipated. And normally they kind of fight you going in, but I guarantee if I tried to do it on camera, it would have fought me a lot more. So as you can see, I added a fair amount of grease to the ring gear. So we're going to just basically take the cover and we're going to bolt this right back in. We'll pop that in. I forgot that I actually put these where they belong. So I gotta turn my chuck down. I want to strip out the bulkhead. Now, one thing I am going to do is before I move on, I had a little bit of grease that kind of snuck out of the back. I want to wipe that up. I want to get as much of the grease. If I didn't try to get the grease comes out, you kind of want to get it out as best you can. You don't want dirt and crap sticking to it because that'll just be a magnet for dirt. Also, it looks a lot cleaner. Now, as you can see, the case is on. The 8T differential is in. Extremely smooth. See if I can. Oh, look at that. Spin this up, try to get it out of your way so you can see. And as you can see, no noise, no rubbing, smooth as can be. Perfect, perfect. So, let's get this finished up. So, what we'll do is basically reverse disassembly. Take your axle. Sometimes this can be a little bit tricky. And for me, it's probably going to be very tricky because I'm trying to do it on camera. But That's okay. Goes right in. Take your pin. Oh, Jesus, I'm not even looking at anything. Take your pin, slide it in, like that. And then what we'll do is we'll just take our rear toe block, just get it started so you don't lose this side. Oh, here you go. Now, we're going to take the other side. Slide it into the diff case. All right, so it should be ready to bolt back on. Now we'll just reconnect the sway bars. Interesting. I misaligned. Huh. Let's try it again. I didn't have the pin all the way in. All right, so as you can see, very smooth, no binding, no issues. So the last and final thing, let's just get this back on the truck. All right, so we're back on. Gonna tighten it up. Now, just flip it upside down so we can get to the bottom. Well, obviously we're at the bottom, but we're going to take these braces. There's 2 screws for the back brace. There's one. There's two. And while we're upside down, I'll just take a wheel, pop it on. Other wheel, or other nut. Pop the wheel on. So, all set. So we now have, I gotta clean this. It's kind of a disgrace. So we have a 4.0 rear diff in the back of our RTR. So now we have the center diff, we have the rear diff. We're just about ready to go. Part 4 and final part will be installing the front diff. And this thing will be completely updated with 4-gear diffs. And we'll be good to handle the power. All right, guys. So till next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys.